Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Thanks for your attendance today to our Falcon 2000 series program webinar. My name is Catherine Blanchard. I am Program Support Manager for Falcon 2000 series aircraft. I am based in Paris, and I have been working in customer support for 4 years. It's quite for all of us a new experience to have this presentation through webinar and not to have the pleasure to meet you in our usual face-to-face seminar, which is always very rewarding for us. Today, we are going to talk about the updates planned or already available for your aircraft. So, what is the program? After a highlight on the fleet status, we will present you the main drivers for the Falcon 2000 fleet and improvements which impact reliability and maintenance. Then we will make an update on the advanced cockpit features, and we present you specific topics on Pratt & Whitney engines and on Honeywell engines. During the last 30 minutes, we will have a dedicated time to questions and answer. So, you will be mute all along the presentation, but you will be able to use the question panel through the GoToWebinar software to ask a question. Do not hesitate to ask questions, and we will answer to them at the end of the presentation. Just to remind you that the presentation is recorded, and the record will be posted on the portal with the questions and answers in the coming days. So let's start with the fleet status. The data which are going to be presented today concerning the hours, the cycles, and the dispatch rates are issued until March 31st of this year, because we didn't want to take into account the COVID pandemic period to publish any figures. We are still analyzing the impact of the COVID pandemic on the fleet hours, the fleet cycle, and so on the dispatch rate. So at the end of March, there were 620 Falcon 2000 aircraft in operation in the world, with an average activity for a year around 290 flight hours and 170 flight cycle. 2 aircraft are the fleet leaders. 1 aircraft has already reached around 16,000 flight hours, and another aircraft has already reached around 10,000 flight cycle. Concerning the dispatch rate, it's the same dispatch rate for the Falcon 2000 series aircraft and for the Falcon 2000 EX series. It is 99.8%. I just want to remind you that it is very important for us to get your feedback and to get the report events concerning your aircraft, because it is all our analysis for the dispatch rate is based on the data you give to us. So we want to be able to have the much accurate as possible calculation in order to be able to present the figures. So do remember, give your feedback. During the last seminar, last year, we presented several topics. Now, what is the status on these topics? What are the achievements? As you can see in this table, some of them are released. We have published either service bulletin or FSA, and the solution is available for you. But 3 of them are still in progress, in fact, mainly due to logistics issue. You will find for these 3 subjects the update of the target date for the publication of the solution. But today you will have a specific presentation on the aileron bearings in a few minutes, on the new maintenance task for the maximum cabin altitude limitation function, and on all the LED solutions which are available for your aircraft. So now let's move to the main dispatch drivers. And welcome, Luca.
Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, we will talk about dispatch driver. So my name is Luca Latari. I've been working in Falcon customer support for about 10 years, and I'm now part of the Falcon 2900 program support team. We're based in Saint-Cloud and soon in Mérignac. And to do this technical presentation, I will have my colleague Matthew with me. Matthew, would you like to introduce you?
Yeah, thank you, Luca. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm working just like Lucas as a program support engineer, but I'm dedicated to engines, IPPS and APUs specifically.
Thank you, Matthew. So before starting the technical presentation, I want to have an overview of what was the activity for the Falcon 2000 series during 12 months, so until March of this year, where we performed more than 100,000 successful flights. And it's a big number, but just to give you something more concrete, it represents 1 flight every 5 minutes. So it means that every 5 minutes, there is a Falcon 2000 taking off around the world. On the top of those successful flights, we do have some cancelled flights, is what you can see on the bottom of the slide. For us, it's about 260 cancelled flights. It's a small number, but for us, it is enough to build top drivers and to have something to work on. It's very important, like Catherine said, that the cancelled flights are the ones that are reported to us. So we can work on that. For the Falcon 2000 series, the main report we have concerns the Falcon 2000 EX series. So the drivers we will present you is for the Falcon 2000 EX aircraft. Those are the top 5 drivers ranked by the number of cancelled missions. The first one is the NIM module. Then is the engine vibration monitoring unit, nacelle anti-ice valve, accessory gearbox magnetic seals, advanced graphic module. The subjects highlighted in green are the ones for which we have a solution, but we will have a dedicated slide for each of them. The first topic is the NIM module. NIM module is an easy component located in the MRC. We do have some cancelled mission due to radio cabinet fail. In recent years, we perform a lot of job with the manufacturer to work on the solder profile and to introduce improved solder profile on the NIM module. This solution is implemented on every new NIM since November 2013 and every repair NIM since mid-2015. So the solution is available in spares. We do have a solution, but we keep monitoring the fleet. Last year's 85% of the cancellation involve not retrofitted parts. So for us, it's a good metrics for the solution. At the second position, we have the engine vibration monitoring unit. It's a part which is installed on every Falcon 2000 EX series, easy or non-easy. The cancel mission involve indicators that are dashed, as you can see on the right, so missing information for the vibration. If you have this kind of issue, we do have a new part number, which include improved internal electrical components. It's fully interchangeable with the previous part number, and it's available in spares. Like we did for the NIM, we keep monitoring the fleet despite we have a solution, and last year's, again, 85% of the cancellation involve old part number. Now, at the third position, Matthew will take the mic.
Thank you, Lucas. So now I'm going to present you the nacelle anti-ice valve topic as the main dispatch drivers. Basically, there is two flight deck effects. One is the engine anti-ice overpressure, and the other one is the engine anti-ice unwanted operation. And basically, this year we had initial investigations performed by the new manufacturer of the valve, and now we need to conduct additional investigation to make sure the proper actions will be taken regarding this topic. Also, we are working on increasing, let's say, the quality process for the production and repair of the units. Regarding fault isolation and extended dispatch, well, I'd like to recommend you to refer to fault isolation manual procedures in case you've got an overpressure or an unwanted ups, because it is very detailed and will help you to isolate the faults. We've seen some cases where for example, the overpressure switch is involved in case of an overpressure. So it's very helpful for you to use these FIM procedures to make sure the correct component is properly troubleshoot. A word about MMEL and dispatch. So I guess most of you are using the EASA MMEL. So you've got extended dispatch conditions since last year for easy and non-easy aircraft. It means that you are able to dispatch in case of an unwanted operation up to +10 degrees Celsius or 80. For those of you who are using the FAA MMEL, the non-easy FAA MMEL has been issued a couple of days ago. And if you are a Part 91 operator and you've got an easy aircraft, you can contact your flight standards office to have to incorporate these MEL changes in advance of MMEL publication for easy aircraft. For this, you will have to use the FAA Policy Letter 36 at revision 3. The next topic is the accessory gearbox magnetic seals, which is also a main dispatch driver. So these seals are located on 3 pads. Sorry, 3 pads. We've got one on the starter pad, the other one on the electrical generator pad, and the last one is on the forward hydraulic pump. What we observe in the field is a premature wear of the carbon element. This carbon element is located between 2 metallic parts, and once this carbon element is worn, you've got a metal-to-metal contact, and thus it will generate chips. That's why the main flight deck effect we will see is an oil chip indication. Pratt & Whitney Canada conducted investigation in 2019, but unfortunately the root cause for this premature degradation was not identified, and now Pratt & Whitney is working on gearbox improvements to improve the reliability of the seal. We've got some tips and recommendations for you in case such event occurs. First is to send chips to a lab for analysis as soon as possible. There is an alloy typical for an AGB magnetic seal degradation. So that's a clue for further troubleshooting. And also we'd like to recommend you to contact Pratt & Whitney Canada in case you've got repeated events to make sure this is addressed. Also, for those of you using EASA MEL, we'd like to remind you that you are allowed to dispatch for one flight up to 2 hours without needing to check the magnetic chip detector before dispatching. So now moving on the next topic, which is the graphic module with Lucas.
Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, the last drivers, number 5, it's an easy component, so advanced graphic module. Those modules are here to feed your display unit. We do have some AGM fail, and when you face this kind of issue, you will have a red cross display unit. To address this issue, we know that the failure is coming from an internal graphical processor that is facing some ionic contamination. So we keep performing investigation and testing with the part manufacturer in order to provide you the best solution. Just a special word for the last available version for the advanced graphic module, which is the mode E. This mode addresses the data loading issue, FTP-COM failure that you can have with the EZ2 third certification. If you comply with the EZ2 4th certification, you will address this failure. We'll come back on that later on. And we have dedicated FSA on this specific topic if you want to. Now we'll move to the next section, which is the reliability improvement. And to present this section, François will join me. François, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is François Satre, and just like Luca and Catherine, I'm part of the Falcon 2900 program support team, and I have been working for Dassault for 5 years now.
Thank you, François. So, the first improvement we want to introduce you today is the bell crank bearings that are involved in the aileron control. So those bell crank bearings are located at the frame 15. They are used to transfer the roll control from the fuselage to the wing. They are located in a humid area, and we notice some corrosion issue on the bearings. The corrosion issue can lead to stiffness in the aileron control, so that's something we want to avoid. That's why we work on a new design. Basically, it consists on a new material, more robust to the corrosion. The solution is available through a service bulletin, which consists in replacing the 4 bearings. And if you comply with the service bulletin, it will have also a direct impact on the maintenance cost, because you will extend the bearing replacement from the 1C inspection up to the 2C inspection. And during the 1C inspection, you will just have to perform a visual inspection. If you want more technical details, you have a dedicated FSA. And yeah, I forgot to mention that this topic is specific to the Falcon 2000EX series. The next improvement specific to the Falcon 2000EX Easy series is directly linked to what you can see on the right of your screen. In more and more airports, you have the APU runtime, which is limited due to the environmental footprint. With our aircraft, when you initialize the aircraft with the GPU to reduce the APU runtime, you can have some issue while switching to the APU. You can lose the flight plan data. You can lose also galley and cabin system, which can be annoying for the crew and the passengers. That's why we work on a solution to avoid issue while switching from GPU to APU. This solution is available through a service built-in. You have to know that if you want to comply with the service built-in, there is a prerequisite. Prerequisite consists in two service built-in, the one consisting in batteries charging by APU, and the second one, the suppression of voltage drop during APU start. So you must comply with those before complying with the final solution. Again, if you want full technical details, I encourage you to consult the FSA. So for the next topic, I will leave the mic to François.
Thank you, Luca. The next topic concerns all the Falcon 2000EX series aircraft which are equipped with aft chemical toilets. These toilets are fitted with a rigid filler line, which is the part you can see highlighted in yellow on the upper right picture. This line can be used for two purposes. The first one is to fill the waste tank with clean water prior to a flight. And the second reason is to use it during the rinsing process of the waste tank to rinse the tank with clean water as well. We have been reported several cases of corrosion and cracks on this line by 2000 operators. And that's the reason why we are currently working on an improvement which consists in a flexible pipe more robust to corrosion. These improvements will be made available by the end of the year through a service bulletin. In the meantime, we have two recommendations to prevent occurrence of corrosion on this part. The first one is to make sure that the line is fully drained prior to closing the flushing coupling. Otherwise, you may have some water retained in the line, and obviously this could lead to corrosion. The second recommendation is to never put disinfectant solution in the waste tank through this filler line. Because this disinfectant solution is a corrosive product, it should always be introduced in the waste tank through the toilet bowl in the cabin. The next reliability improvement I would like to introduce are the LED solutions, which is a topic we've been working on for the past few years. There is an FSA on the portal which describes all the available solutions at the moment, starting with the exterior lights. So from nose to tail, we have the taxi lights, the landing lights, the belly anti-collision lights, the emergency door projector on the right wing. We have on the fin tip and or on the winglets the anti-collision and navigation wing lights, the upper fuselage anti-collision, and at the back we have the anti-collision and navigation lights. The upgrade path for all those parts is detailed in the FSA, and it's made either through compliance with a service bulletin or through installation of interchangeable parts. This FSA also details the available solutions for interior lights. Now, at the moment, we have a first service bulletin that enables to install LED dome lights in the cockpit, and we also have a service bulletin for cabin emergency signs in the cabin. As you can see on the bottom right picture, these LED signs come with a new design of green pictograms instead of the old-fashioned red writing on the white background. So this is a small change that comes with this LED improvement. Moving on to the maintenance improvements now, the first topic I want to introduce concerns the pitot probes. Some of you may know that these probes already have an inspection and cleaning tasks that provides damage criteria, in particular for the blade damage and for the tube-shaped deformation. We want to improve those damage and to add a new criteria for the longitudinal bending of the probe. So by the end of the year, we will publish an updated task that will permit a total longitudinal bending of up to 1 millimeter, which should help further preventing scraps of these parts. We are also working on the ground servicing manual procedures, and in particular, we have issued lately for the 2000 series a new procedure for foreign objects suspected collision inspection. So these procedures aims at providing more autonomy to the flight crew in case of a suspected collision, typically a bird strike. Instead of having to go through the whole comprehensive maintenance inspection, the flight crew will be able to use this light procedure to perform a visual inspection without any specific equipment. If there is nothing abnormal reported, the aircraft can immediately return to service. Otherwise, obviously, the usual comprehensive maintenance task for inspection will apply. This task is already available for the 2000 series, and for the 900 and 7X, the ground servicing manual will be updated by the end of the year.
Thank you very much, François. Now let's move to the last topic concerning maintenance improvements. So, François, can you explain us why you introduced a new task and a new tool in C-check for the outflow valves?
Yes, indeed. We've introduced this new task scheduled in C-check for all the Falcon 50s, 900 and 2000. And it's a task that aims at performing a test of the cabin altitude limitation function. In the past, this test was performed only during the check flight that's performed at the end of the C inspection. But unfortunately, it did not enable to anticipate failures, and sometimes it would end up in additional downtime to repair the outflow valves at the end of the C check. So now, with this test performed on ground during the inspection, you can actually anticipate failures and send the outflow valves during the C check for repair. And additionally, this test enables to check both valves independently. So you are actually able to identify the faulty valves, if any of them is faulty, obviously. So in the end, you will send only one valve in repair shops. So this ends up in savings in terms of downtime and in terms of cost. To perform these tests, we have developed a dedicated tool, which is the one you can see on the upper picture. This tool is composed of a vacuum pump and a set of fittings, pipes, manometers, and flow meters. All the details are provided in the FSA 2132001. We also took the opportunity of having this new tool to improve an already existing task, which is the task for the overpressure protection function. This task is a task that existed in the past, but we wanted to improve it because in the previous version, it had several steps, and one of these steps consisted in a visual inspection of the sense line going from the overpressure protection capsule to the sense line. And identifying visually cracks in this line was very difficult. And that's why with this new tool, you can actually connect the tool at the end of the sense line, and you will check the whole overpressure function at the same time, meaning you will test the tightness of the overpressure relief capsule and the tightness of the sense line at the same time. So this is easier maintenance, and it's a method which is much more reliable to test those components. This task is scheduled for all 50s, 900, and 2000, along with the B inspection. Does this answer your question, Catherine?
Yes, thank you. But can I use another tool to complete these tests?
Well, we've had this question quite a few times, actually. The answer, unfortunately, is no. Because all the AMM values, or all the threshold values that appear in the AMM have been established through an extensive test plan that was performed on production aircraft with this specific tool. If you want to use another tool, so different vacuum pump with other types of pipes with different sections, you will actually modify the pneumatic simulating environment of the outflow valves, and this will invalidate the results. However, we have a few tips regarding these two tasks. The first one is that you actually don't need to remove the valves to do the test. They can remain on wing. You don't need to energize the aircraft either. And finally, the tool is available for sale. The list price is $13,000, and it's also available for daily rental at about $250. This concludes the presentation on maintenance improvements. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, François, Luca, and Matthew. Now, what's new in the cockpit features, meaning easy program and aftermarket solution? Welcome, Laurent.
Thank you, Catherine. So my name is Laurent Jacou. I've been working in Dassault Aviation for more than 20 years now at Mérignac facility near Bordeaux. I worked in purchasing, engineering, flight test, and production. And I recently moved to customer support department, where I am in charge of the easy avionics subjects. So here you can see the Falcon fleet status on all the easy programs. As you can see, for Falcon 2000EX, Easy 2.4 certification is the latest version available. If not already done or scheduled, we encourage you to upgrade to this version. The request can be made on the Falcon portal through feedback, documentation, Easy APM quotation request. It is possible from any Easy 2 certification, that is to say first, second, or third certification. As a reminder, the Easy 2.4 certification content is on the baseline. The fix for the latency timer correction, it is the FANS 1A CPDLC. Also, it allows to recover the full navigation database. That is to say, it gives more allocated memory to cope with the database size increase. And also, it corrects the data loading issue encountered with AGM Mod E and Easy 2 third certification. This baseline is free of charge. Two options are available with Easy 2 4 certification. First one is FANS 1A push to load function. And the second one is the fast chart data loading for dual Jepsen chart. It's also called DDL, Delta Data Loading. Different service bulletins are available according to if the aircraft is legacy IO or new generation IO. And commercial programs are available when combining these service bulletins. Also, packages are available when ordering dual charts combined with fast charts data loading. You will be able to find more information on Falcon portal looking at the service bulletin commercial summaries. Thank you for listening, and I let Frank continue the presentation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So following the recent maintenance, repair, and overall acquisitions by Dassault Aviation, and the last associated presentation during the last webinar last week, I am very proud to present you this aftermarket solution update for Falcon 2000. As a starting point, let's start with our major program, ProLine 21. Keep in mind that ProLine 21 is a path for mandates, and especially for the recent 2020 mandates. It is also a path for the ProLine 4 obsolescence. With such main key drivers, installations of ProLine 21 keep on increasing. So one of you may wonder if it is worth upgrading its Falcon 2000 or 2000EX with ProLine 21. To reply with the help of the well-known reference of Aircraft Blue Book, we can formally reply, yes, it is worth upgrading your aircraft with ProLine 21, either with the baseline, which consists in the LCD displays and the FMS, and or with some options, such as the Fans 1A function. What's more, we Dassault and the aftermarket team keep on providing improvements for your Falcon 2000. One common improvement is the 3D scan radar. This radar combines multiple radar scans in order to detect short, mid, long-range weather. The result is a superior weather detection at all ranges in all phases of flight. This radar also includes a forward-looking predictive wind shear and a vertical weather profile function. This improvement will be FAA certified by the end of the year and will be EASA certified for the first quarter of next year. Another common improvement is the enhanced ground protection warning system. Following a previous FAA Safety Airworthiness Information Bulletin, which dealt with fatal accident for UPS flight, one recommendation is to upgrade your EGPWS system at the latest software version, named the 238. With this system, we also bring you the Smart Runway, Smart Landing option, which will prevent from taxi runway incursions. This solution is already certified for FAA and will be soon EASA certified. Besides, we have already certified solutions. These solutions for your Falcon 2000s, easy and non-easy, are listed in our aftermarket catalog, which can be reached from the Falcon portal. Among the recent certified solutions, we have the LaserRef 4 for your avionics, which replaces the previous LaserRef 2 and the LaserRef 3, which are a hit of end of support since last December 2019. For your cockpit, we have also the already certified True North SATCOM for the fans function, which is FAA and EASA certified since last quarter 2019. And since this date, many Falcon 2000 Easy are flying with this solution. For your For your iPad, you can bring your iPad either in the cockpit or in the cabin. Especially for the cockpit, you can bring your iPad through our solution, which consists in a USB charging MFI, which means made for iDevices. This solution behaves as a docking station for iPads, and it is fully integrated in our Falcon 2000 cockpits. In addition to that, keep in mind that for your iPad, we also bring you our Dassault Falcon Sphere 2 solutions, so software solution. So this slide presents you a summary of the coming solutions on the top and the available certified solutions at the bottom. So this is what I wanted to share today with you. If you had questions, don't hesitate to contact us at aftermarket@falconjet.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Laurent and Frank. Now, Mathieu, can you make an update on improvements concerning engines, APU, and IPPS?
Yes, indeed, Catherine. So let's start with the Falcon 2000 EX series, for which the engine is manufactured by Pratt & Whitney Canada. The first topic I'd like to talk about today is the air turbine starter, part number -6 and -8. There are three symptoms we can see in the field. The first one is oil chip found in the collector during oil change, oil leak at the shaft end, and also, but it's rare, a broken or sized shaft. This led in the past to delays and cancellation, but it's no more today a dispatch driver. All these three symptoms have a common root cause, which is an internal deterioration of a bearing pocket, and this deterioration leads to chip generation. This is why you will find chip in the collector, etc. There's an improved design proposed by the starter manufacturer, which consists in enhancing the hardness of the material and some geometry changes. The parts, of course, will remain interchangeable between the current starters and the new design. The way forward today is to we plan part availability around first quarter of 2021, and currently the design change is under a validation process. The next topic is the high altitude surge. So there is two subtopics here. The first one is the EC upgrade capability. This subtopic concerns mainly Falcon 2000 EX, EXCZ, LX, and DX, because Falcon LXS and S already have the latest software version. So what has been noticed is the latest version of the EC, so post Pratt & Whitney SB 26330, has an improved bleed of valve scheduling, which may improve the surge margin of these engines. So this is build specification 1047 and 1238, so installed on Falcon 2000 EX, EXCZ, LX, and DX. And so far, the only way to get the latest version of the software for these aircrafts was to replace the hardware, replaced the EC and EDU. And today, well, since April, Pratt & Whitney Canada issued a service bulletin to allow you to perform an on-wing reprogramming, on-wing upload of the latest software version. There is no more need to replace the hardware. So how to do this? You've got a Pratt & Whitney SIL, which has been issued, also a Dassault FSA, and associated service bulletin on Dassault and Pratt & Whitney side. This is done on in a limited list of service centers. Please refer to the SIL for this. Also, this is for all aircrafts. You've got, you may have heard of HPC Stage 4 stator upgradable. There is an update here about the EMM, which has been revised in June this year. So just, I think it was a week ago, because the inspection interval in case of light streaks has been reduced to 200 hours. It was previously 400 hours in case you see lights splatters. Now it's 200 hours. Pratt & Whitney Canada also continues to use ECTM data to monitor the condition of the HPC Stage 4 stator. What typically is done is they identified, let's say, a signature of a deterioration of this material, and so they are able to proactively reach out operators, you actually, to warn you in case they detect such signatures. So, but that's to be done in conjunction with the borescope inspection. And they're also working on a new configuration of the stator for potential introduction in 2021. Okay, I'm now moving to Falcon 2000 Classic fleet. So these are equipped with CFE738 engines, and I will also have a slide regarding the APU on Falcon 2000 series. Regarding CFE engines, there's some updates on the oil pump availability. Previously, there was a gap in repair capability, some delays driven by the replacement of two internal pads. These were actually gear shafts, and they had a long lead time. But fortunately, the major shortage of these gear shafts were recovered in April this year, and we are confident in getting, let's say, the sufficient stock level in Q3 of this year. And now, an update regarding the fuel control unit elbow fitting procedure. That's for the APU. So this elbow fitting, we've seen some events in the field of the packing degradation, and we identified with Honeywell that the installation procedure was not completely accurate. So this has been revised, and you will find the associated procedure in the Honeywell maintenance manual for this APU, and also you will find more details in the FSA associated to this topic. This procedure has been validated by both Honeywell and Dassault on lab and aircraft level testing, so that's very reliable.
Thank you, Matthew. Thanks everyone for your presentation. Now we are in our dedicated time for questions and answer. We received some questions. The first one is concern the outflow valve check tool. François, can you give us the price for the tool?
Yes, the tool is currently available for sale at $13,240, and the daily rental price is about $250. I remind that this tool is to be used for all the C check on the 50s, 900 and 2000, and for the B check of the same models.
Okay, thank you, François. Other questions concerning the foreign object collision. Luca, can you give us more information about the availability of the inspection procedure in the documentation?
Yes, of course. This procedure is already available for every Falcon 2000 series ground servicing manual. So you can find it under the section 2, which is the daily servicing section. So this new task was introduced in the last revision for each model. So for example, for the 2000EX Easy, it has been introduced in the revision 14. And as we said on the slide, it will be also introduced for the Falcon 900 and 7X by the end of this year.
Thank you, Luca. So now you have, if you want to ask for a question, we have still remaining time. Well, okay, if we don't have any additional questions. So thanks everybody again for your attendance today and for your questions. We hope that this presentation met your expectation. Presentation and question and answers will be posted on the Falcon portal in the coming days. Thanks again for your attendance and stay healthy.